Today in Christina's court.
I became an alcoholic due to unresolved issues from childhood. My dad would make my older sister have sex with him. I held a secret for 16 years not to tell anyone. I became a model and went to New York City with $14 in my pocket. Behind the scenes in the fashion industry, there are always lines of champagne. After hours, it was the cocaine and it was the ecstasy. But I didn't realize I had the problem until I went to rehab in 1982.
Supermodel Janice Dickinson. What am I? It rhymes with rich.
You can call me a it's okay.
All right, girls, ready?
I was born ready, honey. It's a waste of the court's time, and it's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of these makeup people. It's just a big waste of time. Come on, let's get the party started.
Roy, we're ready when you are.
Enter Christina's court. Only one voice, one justice, one message. There are many judges, many decisions. But when the verdict is in, only one truth is golden. 22-year-old Los Angeles model Brian Kehoe says former supermodel Janice Dickinson on her reality show falsely accused him of being an alcoholic, which has damaged his career. He's suing for $2,000. 53-year-old model, author, agent, and reality TV celebrity Janice Dickinson says she treats all her models like her children and only wants Kehoe to get help for his problem. Janice says she knows the signs of addiction because she is a recovering addict.
All rise. Please be seated. All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Renard. So, Ms. Dickinson,
yes.
You are being sued today for defamation, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I know who you are, and I think a lot of people know who you are. But for those who don't know who you are, why don't you tell us about yourself?
How long do you have?
Just a minute or two. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a parent. I have two children, 14 and 21. They're good kids. I'm a single mom. I am the world's first supermodel. Right now, I'm presently executive producing and starring in a show called the Janice Dickinson Modeling Agency Show on the Oxygen Network, owned and operated for and by women.
Wonderful. And you, Mr. Kehoe, you, I understand, are a model, and you've had a very successful run since 2000, 2001. Yeah. I think 2001 you were, what was it? You were given the International Modeling Talent Association. You were the male model runner-up for the year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell me a little about yourself.
I grew up in Reno, Nevada, and basically how I met Janice was, saw the opening for the show, and sent in my tape, went down there, met everybody.
But you had prior success before you got on.
I did, yeah. I did some modeling back and forth between Reno and LA before I actually moved down to Los Angeles, and at which point, I got on the show and everything like that.
But you're here today suing Ms. Dickinson.
I'm here today, yes.
For something.
For defamation of my character.
For defamation, because she has defamed you, because she has called you an alcoholic on the show. Is that true?
More than one time.
And I know this is very serious for you, this issue.
Extremely.
Because I know all of your books.
I'm
I've
an
read
alcoholic.
them. That's why this is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you understand drug abuse.
I do.
You understand alcohol abuse.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand the pros and cons. You've been, as you say in your books,
done that.
Through hell and back, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, for the sake of kids who are watching this today, to get a little serious, if you can, in a nutshell, tell us the worst position in your life because of drug abuse or alcohol abuse.
From the bottom of my heart, I became an alcoholic due to unresolved issues from childhood. My dad was a bad guy. He was a pedophile. He used to make my older sister and force her to have sex with him. I held a secret for 16 years not to tell anyone. This is a tragic story, but I beg anyone out there that's listening, please tell someone if you're having problems out there with a neighbor, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother. I became a model in the late 70s and went to New York City with $14 in my pocket. Behind the scenes in the fashion industry, there are always lines of champagne, free champagne, gorgeous champagne. I grew up with no money, so the minute I hit those trays of champagne, I started knocking them down because it was free, but I didn't realize that I was having the problem was developing on the spot because of the free available champagne. After hours, it was the cocaine and it was the ecstasy after hours. I beg parents not to let your kids, to monitor your children and not let that happen, what happened to me.
What's the worst situation you think you put yourself in because of this abuse?
Humiliation of myself, losing clients. lying to people, lying to myself. But I didn't realize I had the problem until I went to rehab in 1982 for this problem.
How many times in rehab?
I've been to rehab twice, 1982 for cocaine addiction and 1993 for pill addiction.
So this is, and I understand the show, which I've seen and my husband's a fan of.
Thank you.
It's interesting because you are hard.
I am hard.
You are.
Just like you are, Judge Perez.
Yes. Sometimes I am. But the great thing about the show is that the models, and I don't want to say kids, but they're almost like your kids.
They are my children.
You treat them like that.
I do.
And like what they go through, you take personally. You take very personally. I've seen some of the shows. She becomes irate, doesn't she? Just
you can call me a it's okay.
She only cares when we're filming.
Up next in Christina's court.
You're being a total ass. I should have kicked you in the crotch. You're so stupid.
If you'd like to contact Christina's court, call toll-free 1-800-901-7039 or log on to christinascourt.com. In Christina's court,
I'll kick his if it needs to be. You don't mess with Janice Dickinson.
supermodel Janice Dickinson. What am I? It rhymes with rich.
You are hard.
You can call me a it's okay.
Let me smell your breath. I am so pissed off at you. You've been drinking.
Last night. It's been over 12 hours.
What is wrong with you? You're blowing up a huge career. I'm at the Ghost Software shoot. I just found out that Kehoe was reeking of booze and late for the job. I am so angry at this kid. He has no respect for himself, the client, or my agency. And I needed to let him know that this was totally unprofessional and disrespectful. You're not supposed to drink before you go to a fashion shoot.
So that's what you're mad at? Or?
That's television.
Yeah?
I had drinking the night before. I didn't eat any breakfast.
Clients were complaining.
Well, what did the client say?
He reeks of alcohol, he had circles under his eyes, and he was late for the shoot.
But Janice, you getting in my face and calling me all those things.
I should have kicked you in the crotch.
I didn't reek that badly
You
of alcohol.
represent me.
Okay, then it all came to a head when you said a very flip comment to another model about losing weight. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that. What happened? And that's when Janice kicked you out, right?
Oh, I lost it.
What happened?
We were sitting around the kitchen table, and there were no big cameras around, and the mood was very light. Crystal walks by with some green tea, and I said, "What are you drinking, Crystal?" And she said,
Crystal, another model.
Crystal's another model. I said, "Crystal, what are you drinking?" She said, "Green tea." I said, "Why?" She said, "To lose some weight." And I jokingly said, "Why don't you go do some blow? It'd be faster." In a complete jokingly manner. Now,
Blow like in cocaine.
Yes.
We have it on tape. You did say that. Why don't you try blow? You should have seen this.
I'm not saying that I didn't say. Can I please finish? Can I please finish? No, she is not. She's 24 years old.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a thing to say.
I'm good friends with Crystal, and I wouldn't say that
Doesn't
to a stranger.
matter. I have a 14-year-old daughter in the house.
Did your 14-year-old daughter hear that?
Yes, it's on tape. I have a surveillance camera inside my bedroom.
So what did you do? That's when
my
you
daughter
flipped out.
went, "Mom."
And you flipped out and you kicked him out.
I lost it. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Savannah was not in the house that night.
She was in my bedroom.
She was not anywhere near the kitchen, Janice.
She was in my bedroom watching you on tape. Well, how about, that's what I mean. You just
So then
think
what-
this is
so
all
you
good.
hear this- you
it's
hear
still
this,
inside
Janice.
my house.
Can I say another thing?
You hear this, Janice,
Yes.
and immediately you say to yourself, "This is wrong." You go downstairs
that's
and ask him to leave. What happens?
I said,
Tell us.
pack your bags and get out of my house.
So now, why
was
do you
joking
believe
around.
he's
It's
got
not
a
a
problem?
joke.
Why do you believe, Janice, he has a problem?
Kehoe does things all the time for negative attention. He'll say flippant things just so people will look at him. Now, some of these flippant things will stand in the way when he goes on, let's say, a shoot for Procter & Gamble. If you will go work for Procter & Gamble and you say to another
Janice?
model, "Why don't you try some blow?" They will fire you. They will call me up and they will say, "Why do you
Janice.
have a model that says try blow?"
The Janice
He's trying to
Dickinson
teach you
modeling
a
agency
lesson.
is a reality television
I
show.
have a real modeling
It is not-
agency.
It is not real life, and
It's not real life.
No, I have a
No.
real life modeling agency
So
with
nothing
auto
in there is
models.
real?
no,
You
Janice
know,
is not
I
my
have-
agent. Janice is a woman I work with.
Excuse me, I am an agent, and I work with
No, he says
Jason
he's
and
not his
Teresa
agent.
Auto.
Okay,
No.
no, he says you are not his agent.
No, she's
Well, then
not.
he doesn't have to go do my show to get attention, to get jobs as an actor. You don't even know where your bread and butter is. You're so stupid.
Coming up in Christina's court.
I went to a 12-step program, Alcoholics Anonymous.
She's
I
not
had
off
this
the
kind
booze.
of an attitude. I didn't
She's
have
not
a
off the
problem.
booze?
I don't think so.
Oh, now you're being a total.
In Christina's court,
This is not a waste of my time. Judge Christina does things that is on the level, and this is not. This is on the level. I have a problem with this kid. If he has a problem with me, bring it on.
supermodel Janice Dickinson. What am I? It rhymes with rich.
You are hard.
You can call me a. It's okay.
Now, so let's talk about damages, because you technically you're a celebrity because you were known before you got to Janice. You had done a lot of modeling
Reno?
before, so you had your own little reputation, right? Then you did your little thing for TMZ, so you had a little reputation.
TMZ?
Right? You did
That
something
makes
with-
someone
commercial.
famous? Please, Judge Perez.
Well, he had recognition, so
Well,
he knew
that's
it.
exactly where he's going to end up, is one of those hacks that work for
Okay,
that
so let's
idiot
talk
Harvey
about
Levin.
damages. Okay, Janice, let's talk about damages, Kehoe, because how has this affected your modeling career, your entertainment career?
I have a manager now for theatrical and television, and she's sent my headshot into 2 casting directors over the last month, and both of them wouldn't see me because they thought I would be difficult to work with.
Just based on the show?
Yes, and I feel betrayed here because I'm working with Janice for 3 seasons on a television show, and I'm cooperative with the producers, I'm cooperative with Janice, and I go along, and she calls me an alcoholic to make better television. She knows in her mind that I don't have a drinking problem. I drink when the other models do.
Wait 1 second.
It doesn't affect my career.
Okay.
It doesn't affect my real life. I don't have to wake up in the morning and have a beer. And to have people, come up to me in the gym or, think I'm this bad person or, the main thing is I don't want the rest of my career as an actor and a serious model to be affected
Okay, but
because
let's talk about
Janice saying unfairly, you are an alcoholic on TV for millions of people to see, and they see what they believe, and that is defamation of my character because that is not who I really am.
But that's the magic of TV. You yourself put yourself in that situation, though, didn't you? To become even more famous or to get a career. Now let's talk about
Not to be an
have you
alcoholic.
gotten more publicity because of this?
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way, and how?
I'm trying to move on from reality.
I understand you were just in New York at the big fashion.
No, I didn't go to New York because Janice didn't want me there.
Okay,
No,
so
I was afraid.
why?
I was afraid he was going to act out and do something to embarrass all the buyers from NBC.
Really?
So I canceled. I have that right. I'm the executive producer of the show,
You do
and
have that
you never
right.
know. Yes, I do.
So you didn't go. So that
Well,
what
it's
job
my
have
show.
you lost?
I don't know of any in particular. I know of two jobs. I don't know which
So
ones.
it's embarrassed your mom because she's a
My
principal?
mom is an elementary school principal in a small town of Reno, and the kids that go to
embarrassed her.
school, and my grandma
For
can't
that,
even.
I'm sorry.
And my grandma can't even stand to watch the TV show, and it's just that hurts my feelings. That because I'm unfairly portrayed, that it affects other people into my real life, and it can't just stop when the cameras stop. I feel like I was pinpointed as the bad boy, as the alcoholic, because they needed a bad boy on the TV show.
You didn't have to do it, Kehoe.
And
You
the fact
didn't
that you
have
don't
to
get
do
along,
it.
some of your...
I'm not talking about being the bad boy. I want to
You
talk
didn't
about
have to
you
do
calling
it.
me, Janice, this is about you calling me unfairly the alcoholic, and clients and people
Dude,
and future
I had to
directors.
knock a martini glass out of your hand in South Beach.
And
5
Janice-
o'clock in the morning.
Janice, every
has
single
he lost
model
any jobs?
had
You didn't send him one
a
on.
drink
You didn't
in
send
their
him one on
hand.
They don't-
that week.
I'm
Every
not
single
sending
one.
him.
But
Pardon
why
me?
do you choose
Are people
Kehoe?
asking-
Because I'm the character.
Kehoe. Are people asking for him?
The photographer on that job that you particularly saw wanted to hire him again, but he was afraid that he was going to show up with alcohol in his breath.
And
with
what did you
dark
say to
circles
reassure him?
under his eyes
And
because
what
he
did-
was out drinking the night before.
And did you reassure him it's not going to happen again?
I can't do that because I don't know if it's going to happen before. I can't take that. I can't take that chance.
And what about the fact that your
Go to
fellow,
friggin' rehab.
Your fellow models basically say that you're becoming difficult to live with due to your over-the-top personality. What does that mean?
That has nothing to do with my drinking.
No? Do you not like the personality that the show has given you? Is it true to who you are? Because you say it's reality TV, it's not true, but isn't reality TV supposed to be true? I mean,
No, I don't like it.
you're not like that at all?
No.
No?
It's hard when your cell phone's taken away, and, the internet, and you're stuck in this house with all these people. You kind of forget about
So why do
the
it?
outside world.
You're an American. You have choices.
Why do it? Why do it? And
You
why
can
do
make all the
season
choices
4?
you want. Don't do my show, please. Don't do my show.
Well, I
Why
won't-
not? Why
I won't
not?
do it.
Why not stop?
Please.
The reason I'm stopping, I'm done, I will never do it again, and the reason that I had done her show is because, I had looked up to Janice, and I thought working with her would be some great exposure
You just
to
don't
move
like
on
the
in
way
my
she talks to
career.
you.
And I don't like the way she points me as an alcoholic because she needs better ratings for her TV show and needs
We're smoked with ratings. May I say something?
Yeah.
You still don't understand. You could get anything you want if all you have to do is make one choice, Mom and Grandma. Get him off the booze. All right? Get him off the booze and you'll...
How did you get off it, Janice?
I went to a 12-step program, Alcoholics Anonymous.
But what motivated you?
I was losing work.
She's
I
not
had
off
this
the
kind
booze.
of an attitude, thinking that I didn't
She's
have
not
a problem.
off the booze?
I don't think so.
Oh, you know what?
Is that an opinion or is that...
It's a fact.
Are you
I'm off the
defaming her?
booze. Okay, you're being a total.
Coming up in Christina's court.
She
Production
really
found him
thinks
at 5 o'clock in the morning walking down Collins Avenue in underwear.
Where's this proof?
Well, I've got
Where's this from?
four of my producers couldn't find you at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was on some kind of drug in South Beach.
No, I wasn't in my underwear. I had my shirt off, Janice. I was in Miami trying to get a tan.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
If you'd like to contact Christina's court, call toll-free 1-800-901-7039 or log on to christinascourt.com. In Christina's court,
It's a waste of the court's time, and it's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of these makeup people. It's just a big waste of time.
supermodel Janice Dickinson. What am I? It rhymes with rich.
You are hard.
You can call me a it's okay.
Do you really think she really doesn't care about you and she doesn't think that you may have a little problem and she's only doing it for TV ratings?
I have never given her any reason to think I'm a true alcoholic where alcohol will affect my career 100%.
Okay,
and
so
that
then
I can't
what
say no.
reason-
I can say no to a drink anytime.
Okay.
And I just feel like she consistently has to pinpoint me and say this for the show. I don't think she
Production
really
found him
thinks
at 5 o'clock in the morning walking down Collins Avenue in underwear.
Where's this proof?
Well, I've got
Where's this from?
four of my producers couldn't find you at 5
What was he
o'clock in the
doing?
morning. He
Where's
was
he
on
doing?
some kind of drug
Where's
in
Collins
South
Avenue?
Beach. South Beach.
I was not on
See,
any drugs.
before you were found at 5 o'clock in the morning, not out of your gourd.
No. I went out the night
You're
before and I was...
perjuring yourself.
Were you out the night before?
Yeah, we all went out, and I had some friends in Miami, and they woke up to go to work, and I was 3 blocks down the road, and I was walking back, and everybody was worried.
In your underwear?
No, I wasn't in my underwear. I had my shirt off, Janice. I was in Miami trying to get a tan.
At 5 o'clock in the
No,
morning?
it wasn't 5 o'clock in the morning. It was the next day at 2.
Well, here's the
Arrest.
thing. I really don't believe objectively when you watch these shows, you believe it all. Because you can tell what people are like. She's loud, outspoken. We know what she's like. We know what she's like. And we have seen it here.
Sorry.
But if you strip that away, you're much more of a lady who has fought drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and that's what you really stand for.
Yes, ma'am.
And when I asked you, which was very interesting because you always expect celebrities to say this, who are you? The first thing I thought you were going to tell me, Janice, I'm a supermodel. I'm the one who coined the supermodel phrase. The most admirable thing that you said about yourself, I'm a mother. That's
I am
the
a parent.
very first thing you said about yourself. Now, you, Brian, it's important for you to believe, Brian Kehoe, to
Call me
believe,
whatever you want.
to believe that
Tweaker.
your reputation's important. I understand that, especially now,
Sorry.
please. In Hollywood, it's important. When you're talking about a public figure, because technically you are, and that's why you went on the show to be a public figure, right? Because you want to be a celebrity, you have to prove that she did it with malice, actual malice, that she actually knew it to be false, but she said it anyway. And number two, and the most important thing is damages. How have you suffered? That is what is so hard to prove in a defamation case. That you've lost jobs.
I haven't suffered anything yet.
You will after this court.
One of the main points.
What did you say, Janice?
I'm sorry. It
What did
wasn't
you
a
say?
threat. I said he will after this court. I'm going to take him down to the barn. Teach
I
him
have a
some
fe-
real manners.
I have a feeling that's not going to happen. Anything else?
I'd like to add for any agent or manager that's watching, he is a great guy. He just is a little shaky.
Nice meeting you both. Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Christina has ruled in favor of the defendant and has denied the plaintiff's claim.
She put the super in supermodel. She's tough, abrasive, smart, and told me it's okay for me to call her, well, it rhymes with rich. Trouble with that is that it wouldn't be accurate. Mom is a better description. See you in court.